See the screen, the big screen.
The YouTube. You guys hear the music?
No, I'm not playing any music right now.
Oh.
Are you
Yeah.
live?
Yeah.
We don't see anything.
You're right there.
Where? On this screen. We don't see anything. Oh, there we go. Okay, sweet. All right. Well, welcome back to the Piper Carter podcast, everyone. You're here with Piper Carter. It is the beginning of the month. Today is February the 1st, and I'm in studio with my co-hosts, Deja. How's it going? You cute? You cool?
Good, good. I'm good. How are you all? Hey, Asa.
Good, good.
Peace.
Asa Bay, our health and wellness expert, and doing our technology is Brittany March. It's Food Detroit. So yay! All right. I think I'm gonna. Okay, so let's. Deja, how was your week so far?
It's been a pretty good week. I can't complain. I've been working on my beats. I want to drop something this month. I not sure when that'll be, but at some point this month I will drop a beat tape, and when I pick my date, I will let you guys know.
Okay, so that'll be your third project
Yeah, technically, yeah.
on Bandcamp.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how many songs you gonna do?
I'm thinking 4 or 5. I don't want to do anything heavy yet. I just like putting out little pieces.
How many did you do the first time?
I feel like it was like 7.
Yeah, it felt like an album, right?
Almost. Mm-hmm.
And then how many the next time?
I think it was 4. I I yeah, I think
I
it
was
was
like, was it
4.
5? It was 4.
4. I think it was 4.
Okay, and then so this time you're not sure, like 4 or 5, maybe.
Yeah, somewhere in there. I
Mhm.
haven't decided. I know that there's a good 3 that I want to put out, but I want to make a couple more and see how I feel about releasing those too.
Okay, I got you. I mean, you could always just release the 3
Yeah.
and keep making music,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a thought.
Good ideas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to it. So that's
Thank
what's up.
you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yay.
What about you, Asa? How's your week been so far?
Amazing. Prosperous. A lot of networking, a lot of events, and just a lot of projects in the works right now.
Oh
Just
yeah.
living
Tell
the
us
grind.
about your events. That's some interesting stuff there.
Yeah. Some stuff just over the internet. A lot of stuff with the youth, middle schools, elementary schools. I just recently did some work with the Detroit Food Academy. That
Oh,
was
how'd
real
that
nice.
go?
That was tight.
What'd you
Yeah.
do?
Just spoke to the students about health, getting more self sufficient, growing food as opposed to complaining about deserts and food shortages, things of that
Mm-hmm.
nature. But
Okay.
listening to them and their engagement was nice. It was
Okay.
beautiful.
That's what's up. Yeah. So where were the events?
Online, so virtual
Oh,
stuff,
okay,
some in
okay.
person stuff, out in the burbs. I don't remember the exact locations,
Okay,
but
okay.
people were just like doing stuff and inviting some of the health experts in the area, Metro
Okay.
Detroit. So yeah.
That's what's up. I put on live for a little bit, just a little bit. We're live right now on YouTube, y'all. So go over to YouTube, Piper Carter Podcast, and watch us. Share, like, subscribe. Um, we're having a great conversation. It's going to be a good conversation this evening. So check us out. Peace, peace, y'all. Yeah. So I wanted to start us off uh with the astrology report. And so what's interesting is there's so much going on this month. Um so not only is it like, so today is February the 1st, right? what's interesting is tomorrow is going to be 2 2 2 2 2 2 2. But anyway, so but today is the first. It's the beginning. So the 31st and the 1st is like we always talk about like these openings or these portals, right? So we have the new moon. That's one thing. And it's actually an Aquarius moon, right? Mercury has been in retrograde for a minute. We're going to have Mercury direct. So it's going to be good. So there's a lot of power going on there. And then it's also a new like lunar new year, which I think we call like Chinese New Year. So it's the year of the water tiger. So that's pretty interesting. So today is there's a goddess asteroid in Juno that enters Aquarius. That's going to be a lot of powerful energy. I'm going to explain what this stuff is. And on the 4th, Saturn, the sun is going to conjunct with Saturn. That's a lot of stuff going on like this week. But February is going to be a super powerful month, mostly because we're out of the retrograde and we're direct. So intentions. So yeah, so we get February is going to kick off a fresh energy, right? And it's going to be flowing from the Aquarius new moon. So a few days following the new moon, Mercury, is just stationed itself direct, giving us 0 planets in retrograde for the remainder of the month. So remember that, kiddies. So this energy is like super, super strong. It's a forward moving energy that's like coursing through our cosmic skies. That's going to make February a month for making waves and bold choices. So if there's a project that you want to get off the ground, a challenge that you want to overcome, or an adventure that you want to take, February is the month, right, to set those intentions and to trust that the energy of the universe is on your side. I mean, I could go on and on and on, but you kind of get that. So think about where you want to create like some balance and some harmony in your life, and then use the energies of February to make it a reality, right? Again, like set your intentions, nurture your desires, create new goals, like be super proactive and everything. Let's talk about what's going to be going on. Oh. Check this out. So February is also going to bring the peak of the Pluto return to the USA. So man, February is like, my God, so much going on in February. But let's just start here. All right. So I'm just trying to see things that I didn't say before. Okay, let's talk about this goddess asteroid in Juno. So asteroids are a subtle energy. So this is something that we may not feel unless our own personal energy like requires us to. So Juno is the asteroid of marriage and partnership, and it moves into Aquarius. And as it moves into Aquarius, our attention may turn to our relationships, particularly our romantic ones. Juno's move into Aquarius may help us define a greater sense of independence in our relationships, or perhaps even reignite the romantic, adventurous side of the relationship. So, as Juno rules over marriage, this shift may also change how we think about marriage or making long-term commitments, because long-term commitments is also like marriage, right? So Mercury direct. So I know we always talk a lot here about like, Mercury retrograde and all that kind of stuff. So Mercury direct is like kind of like the opposite of that. So like where you want to kind of chill with a retrograde, you want to like hit the gas with the, you know what I'm saying, with the direct, because like everything that you want is going to come to you. This is your time right now. Okay. It's like, yeah. Get on that magic carpet and pray for what you need. So, okay, let's talk about this Sun conjunct Saturn. So, the annual meeting of the Sun and Saturn is a day for stepping up to the plate and asking ourselves, what do I need to take responsibility for in my life? So, we may need to practice some tough love when answering these questions, but Saturn's cosmic vibrations will be on our side. And we can also breathe into these vibrations to fuel ourselves with stamina and grounding energy, both of which can help us navigate challenging situations. And so, I mean, long story short, this is a really open time. A lot of energy is going to be flowing like to you. A lot of things are going to be in your favor. Um, so this is that time. We were in a lot of retrograde like recently over the last like year, right? We've been in a lot of retrograde. So yeah, it's time to party, y'all, but not party like that. But I mean party in the sense of like, okay, remember that part in The Wiz? Y'all saw The Wiz, right? Y'all saw
Yeah.
The Wiz, the movie? Remember when they can you feel when they took off their clothes? Everybody look around. Right? And then they start dancing and they threw all the like little like troll costume off or whatever. And then they had on like their little loincloths and was dancing across the floor.
Was this at the end?
It was towards the
Towards the
end.
end?
Yeah, pretty
Okay.
much towards the end.
Yeah.
Like remember the Wicked Witch of the West,
Mhm.
Eveline?
Yeah.
And she, got flushed down the toilet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they I think it was like the sun because they'd been in that factory and it was all dark and then the sun started to come out and they was like and then it was like they started taking off. I think like the water sprinkled and the water
Mhm.
came on them and then they started melting and then they started taking off like it was like an old skin or something and an old self and all these like old clothes and this like tired kind of energy and then you just saw like their like new like brown bronzy skin and they had like these like they was all dancers so you just saw their bodies and then they just started like dancing and then the music you know came on. I should play the music but y'all know the song,
I
right?
gotta rewatch that. That's about to be tight.
Yeah, that is amazing part. Like that part right there when I was little, we used to get hyped. We used to be dancing around the house, going crazy because that's the part there. I mean, symbolically, I'm saying we're in that moment of like, there's been so much going on. I mean, I'm not gonna blame it on a retrograde, but just like in general, and on top of that, there's retrograde. So now is just like there's some ease. You know what I mean? From some of that. And not only is there ease, but there's also like you have help. Like you have planetary help. You know what I mean? Just strictly by all that energy and stuff that's going on right now. Like you have support for the things that you want to do. So like
Mhm.
now's that time. So anyway, I didn't want to take up too much time with that, but I just got excited, you know, seeing that. I mean, does that resonate with any of y'all? Do y'all have stuff that you're like, man, Brittany, why you not on the mic? I want to hear you say it. But Brittany's on the hiatus right now. She's just tech Brittany right now, I guess, until the next month. Tech me. Yeah, Asa, Deja, did that resonate with y'all at all? Or are you still chewing on that? Or are you like, that don't have nothing to do with me?
No, yesterday my friend posted in her close friends we were talking about she asked about she brought up Nick Cannon having a bunch of kids now with different women and she was like, does no one believe in like marriage anymore? So then she was like, do you want to get married? Like yes or no? Like and if so or if not, why? And then she was like just sharing all of the answers and her close friends. It was just like just interesting to see what her peers say 'cause she's a few years younger than me.
Mhm.
So it was interesting their responses. Some of them had kids already and they were like, it has to be right. Or I think the question was actually, would you have kids outside of marriage?
Mhm.
And then another question was like, do you want to get married?
Mhm.
So yeah, that was yesterday, and now you say all this, and like you said, people just taking relationships seriously.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, and it's not just. I mean, it did talk about marriage, and it did talk about like like a romantic, you know what I mean, like relationship. But um, marriage could also be any relationship.
Yeah, union.
You know, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because it could be business. It could be it could be like like a something that you are in relationship with, like for yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be something like that. So, could be like whether it's your marriage with like your diet or your exercise or your health. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
you could be. I mean, I'm taking it there, but in sometimes like when we, for me, I use astrology in the sense of like understanding the planets, but there's so many for me there's so many factors. I would never be like just solely put everything into that, but it helps me to like process like yeah, like cuz we're made up of stars. Like we're made up of the same thing that the stars are made of. So we're the same matter as the stars. So they have an impact on us. Like they influence us. Like we're in this world together. Like we're in this galaxy together. There's other galaxies, but this universe, this galaxy is doing this at this time and it does impact us. You know what I mean? So for me, I use it to like just try to understand um like what's going on, and it helps me to um for me it helps me balance my emotions about things. It also helps me to like figure out when to do things or like how to do things or like when the way things are going, like um for me. But yeah, but it's interesting because some people are like, ooh, astrology is so but
Mm-hmm.
but for me I'm like, I don't know how you could function like without it. I
Yeah.
don't know. No shade. No shade to anybody. But no, you know what I mean? Like it's like no shade to anybody, but it's like the older I get, the more I see when I think about like the Dogon, that's still like, do you know these jokers still haven't figured out like how the Dogon figured all that out? They're like still trying to study like how did the Dogon know like so many years ago, like how like the shape and size of things or the distance or this or that. And it's like, yeah, like when you don't have television or any of these other like distractions or love and hip hop or you know what I'm saying? Like you could get in
Mm-hmm.
tune. No shade to love and hip hop because it has made a lot of black women millionaires. You know what I'm saying? They can and they eating healthy and taking care of themselves and their family. So no shade to them. But yeah, like this world that we live in is like priorities are so in a certain way and at a certain time we were just here like stewards of the planet, just taking care of the earth, the water and all of that. And now we're trying to like not die because of silly capitalist decisions. Anyway, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but
Awesome.
Asa.
Oh, so I agree definitely. Like, how can you live without astrology? But to each his own. But to power what you were saying up, solar radiation like is a real thing. And like when you go outside, it's hot, in the summertime. So what makes us think that other planets don't have that same influence, even if it's subtle, you know? But when it comes to retrogrades, I was taught to like reevaluate and kind of reorganize myself, especially like if it's Mercury, you know what I'm saying? So your thoughts kind of like, am I thinking, is this way of thinking, optimal for me or beneficial to, fulfilling my purpose or something like that's the space and the time to go and like just, mold yourself, if you will, and then whatever, apply that same readjustment technique to like whatever planetary energy we got to deal with. So I like, that's my power up time is what I'm saying. Instead of like the average person, oh my god, it's a retrograde, I'd be like, yeah, and I could go in my bag, you feel me? And then when it's direct, I'm about to be lit. So that's just my 2 cents on that. So I'm looking forward to that brand new me aspect coming up.
That is Asa Bay, author of Make the Hood Healthy Again. And we had you on here a couple weeks ago where we got to learn more about you and jump into your book a little bit. So I'm saying that to say that this guy knows what he's talking about. So yeah, so I wanted to play a little bit of music for y'all. Oh, let me tell y'all. So the last show was my birthday, right? I got the most response from that show. People loved the music show.
I'm sure they did.
People were like, y'all got to do more music shows. Like, they loved it. I got so much response. I mean, from all different ages, not just people in the Gen X or my generation, but but everybody loved it. They were like, y'all got to do another show like that or something. So I was thinking, like, I don't know if we want to do another show like that or if we want to do another segment like that, but we'll have to talk, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, figure that part out, like a segment. How Brittany gonna not be on camera?
Hey, man.
Hurt my feelings, but it's okay. My feelings don't matter here. Ooh, no.
Retrograde energy. She charging up.
No, the retrograde's over.
We still got that sprinkle space.
It is, because it is the first.
That residue.
It takes about 2 weeks to get it off.
Yeah.
Dang.
I love that.
It takes about 2 weeks
What's
to
our
get it
first
off.
You know what I'm gonna bring?
Wow.
You know what I'm bringing here? I'm gonna bring me
So
some
funny.
Florida. Y'all know what that is? The Florida water
Mm.
with the
Spanish ladies be-
it's like rose water, and it has other herbs and things in it, and it's just to cleanse the energy. But yeah, I was gonna say something, but I'm not gonna say that. So okay, Deja normally brings us our artist of the week, but I wanted to bring our artist of the week. So I don't know if y'all know about Njeri Earth. Njeri Earth is a hip hop pioneer from Detroit. She was in the film 8 Mile. She is an amazing writer and lyricist, and she does make her own beats. She has a project that did come out 2021, but I've seen her promoting it, and I wanted to play a couple tunes. I want to let y'all know, normally on here, we talk about a lot of music producers, or the music we play is more like music heavy, like production heavy. And she is a lyricist. So I'm gonna ask if folks could like rest their central nervous system, and because it's a lot of lyrics and she's very lyrical. And so and there's a lot like in her lyrics. And so I'm gonna play it's called Mother Tongue. And Mother Tongue is the name of the project. And this song, the title song, is called Mother Tongue as well. So this is Njeri Earth, Mother Tongue.
They just stray far away from the mother tongue. Don't want to hear the words relayed from the mother tongue. Disregarding the beauty sung by the mother tongue. Mitochondrial DNA is not enough for some. They just stray far away from the mother tongue. Don't want to hear the words relayed from the mother tongue. Disregarding the beauty sung by the mother tongue. Mitochondrial DNA is not enough for some.
The Black Madonna's feminine principle is dishonored. Results in hell on this planet, and it's hotter than lava. They praise a heavenly father, yet blame everything on mama. Allah ta'ala, my aunt must be bothered, cause the scales are unbalanced. There's less peace than violence, more noise than silence. Now mama's hollering, be quiet. With pandemics and riots, hurricanes and wildfire, psychological chains wired on brains becoming expired, exposing a liar. You're weak and wicked, why it's tired. My double X is multiplying at an amazing rate. It ain't no denying the lioness. Her highness metamorphosizes to a seismic scientist. Concoct a vaccine to kill a coronavirus. And all the while you doubted that I'm the wisest. Why's this when I'm the wisdom? Your knowledge is fertilizer. Shit. Regurgitated, elevated to my highest six, or so I was told. And so then I rose like a phoenix. Out of the ash, gas, liquid to solid. My shine polished, mind dominant, body brought like the 7 continents. I was respected and honored before religion's invention. Misogynistic intentions of Jacob's children to keep me hidden, forbidden in a subservient position. In all reality, I'm the reason that ye are living. Now process that. I put the onk on that. I'm the prototype of humanity, pillar of real humility, goddess of fertility, definition of divinity. Tell them that it's blasphemy.
I ain't come from a woman, ain't no woman in me.
Oh, you were formed in a testicle with only 23 chromosomes and no mother? Oh, she was just an oven to bake you little nuts for 9 months, and then what? It's over? First study genetics and then the culture and Kemet, and holla back when you finished.
They just stray far away from the mother tongue. Don't want to hear the words relayed from the mother tongue. Disregarding the beauty sung by the mother tongue. Mitochondrial DNA is not enough for some. They just stray far away from the mother tongue. Don't want to hear the words relayed from the mother tongue. Disregarding the beauty sung by the mother tongue. Mitochondrial DNA is not enough for some.
If your pineal is fragile, every word is a battle. Be king, the queen will follow. Stop forcing her to be shallow. We deeper than that. The whole hole deeper than black. Limiting my progression's a reflection of why we are where we at. Now we fighting handicap with our arms behind our backs and an E on our neck, bullets penetrating our flesh. And we debating on this, and that's passe. Need to be trying to solve the issues we have today. Fighting against each other, but come from the same family. Jokers be mediocre, but still end up with a damn queen. Might have to try polygamy to get a real king.
Damn.
Cause pickings is slimmer than ice. Ignorance got their brains in a vice grip. Know the ledger, you might slip. That's wisdom I'm giving to women trying to live righteous. Just know you the wisest. Don't let them downsize you. Uncovered under the lies, lost many surprises. Peace, ISIS. The crown crooked, sight and sound took and overlooked. Erased from the books, tombs, and texts.
What's next?
Degenerated from the greatest to an object for sex or of abuse and neglect. And it's a cycle we've kept for far too long. Passed on by generations of slave men of cavemen. Praising the Black Madonna in their basement. Replace her with the Holy Ghost while the masses are comatose.
Them played us with the okie doke.
Looky, no cookie, but you close. It's written in your horoscope. Fill us with hope with no results, like Jesse, Jack's sons and daughters
Out of their mother's hands.
out of the motherland with broken promises of angel babies going to heaven, but hell is where they brought us in.
They just straight far away from the mother tongue. The mother tongue.
So that's Njeri Earth. So she dropped some jewels in there. Gee. She was quoting the Bible, and
She's cold.
she was giving you a lot of patterns, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, what'd you think, Asa?
I loved it, man. It was a lot of mental food. You know, she gave you some homework in there, homework assignments. You know, yeah. Go study some genetics real quick. Holla at me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sweet.
What'd you think?
She's cold. She's cold. I
Yeah.
like her a lot. I want to keep listening to her.
Like, I wasn't sure if Deja was gonna like her because I was like, Deja is a beat mongrel. Like, Deja loves
Well,
beats.
at first I was distracted. I was trying to figure out that sample because I know it, but I can't think of the name. But
It is familiar, right?
I know who it is.
Who?
I can't think of it.
It sounds familiar. I'd have to.
I bet it's in
dissect
one
it.
of my playlists. Like, I'll bet any amount of money. I just don't remember what it's called. But I was distracted. But then once I was like, wait, I gotta focus. Then I was like, wait, she's sweet. She's really cold. She's really sweet.
Okay, I'm gonna play another one.
Mhm.
She's got. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all some titles. So so like I said, the project itself is called Mother Tongue, right? So she's got a song called I'm Healing. She has a song called Self-Hatred. She got a song called Therapy. She has a song called Gentle Reminders. She got a song called Only You, the Jewel. I mean, she got some titles on here that are like, wow. But I want to play this song, I'm Healing. I played it a little bit before, but listen to these lyrics. Like, I think y'all will be able to relate to this song.
Hey. I told you about power, right? Oh, yeah, he wants to talk to you. Okay, should I give him your number? Sure, okay, because, I mean, like, he really got it going on. Right. And, like, he got houses and apartments, cars, all kind of stuff. Who is this brother? Okay, here we come. 6'5" chocolate, gotta get my binoculars. I don't drink, but I'll take a vodka over the rocks. I'm spotting this brother watching, concocting his introduction. Know when he coming, what I be the punk for running, I'ma keep on fronting. Give him my number, maybe I wanna talk this summer. For now, I ain't dealing with catching feelings. I'm healing from bad decisions from men in my past. Baggage tossed in the trash, or toxic waste, been all of the time I wasted. So it ain't that I ain't feeling you, see, I'm the problem. Picked a few bad apples out the bunch that spoiled all of them. Rotten, but look, I'm recovering from my trauma. Still, I don't want no drama, so I'ma go play my Yamaha in the comfort of my own home, in my own zone. There's a difference between being lonely and being alone. With that, I say shalom. It was nice to make your acquaintance, but I'm taken by my damn self. Thank you. Some of these brothers look so appealing, but I'm healing, making it hard to fight the feeling. But I'm chilling. Grands in the hands got plans for millions. Ain't gold digging. Why civilize and respects his women? Now that's different. Ha, I got the inbox, peace, earth, yo, your rhyme's hot. Do you have a second to talk? I'm like, why not? Asking if I got a God, I respond. Do you got a job, car, a house? Do you already have a spouse? Cause I don't go that route. Do you have a disability, mental or physically? Cause I got 2 or 3 personally. Have you ever been to prison? I figure how many children do you hit women? Impregnate, don't provide for, then dip on them. Are you a leader, a follower? Were you raised with a father or some other male role model that bother? Do you love your mama? Do you have a sister? How was your relationship with them? Do you sell drugs? Do them or did them? Who's the original man? How far is the closest star from where we are to where we stand? Trick question. What's your net worth? Are you vegan or diseased? I should have asked first. You got ashy knees. Now see, this won't work. Some of these brothers look so appealing, but I'm healing, making it hard to fight the feeling. But I'm chilling. Grands in the hands got plans for millions. Ain't gold digging. Why civilize and respects his women? Now that's different. See, you tripping. What? Ashy knees? Yes. Really? Yes. I'm not doing it. Check all the other boxes, and you tripping on some ashy knees. I'm saying. When the last time you lotioned your ashy knees, though? Mecca, don't start. I'm saying. Don't start. We don't even see your knees. You got them covered up all the time. Yeah. And how we don't know it ain't Christmas addicts under that mouth? You know what I'm saying? All right. That's just ridiculous. I swear. Can't take you nowhere. Shut up.
Yeah. So that is Njeri Earth. That song was called I'm Healing. And I was saying before that I like that song because for me, I think she kind of named like all the challenges that she had. You know what I'm saying? With like different guys. Or like I'm trying to put that in a different way because that kind of puts the blame like on the guy, although we don't want to take away accountability. But in terms of like in the land of power and women having their power and women making choices, I would say that in that song, what I hear is that she acknowledges that there have been some choices that she made that weren't the best for her, or that she would want to do some different choices. Like, what did you guys hear in that song? Or what did you hear?
I heard that, but I was really stuck. Not stuck, but I was like daydreaming about that trick question part, you know.
Which one? About the
When she-
how many wait, what did she say? Shoot.
She said, what's the distance to the closest planet to where you are and where you stand?
Right.
Trick question or something like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, dang, okay. We know the sun 93 million miles away.
Mm-hmm.
But is she talking about her standing in front of you? You know, because like every man and woman is a star. You know, she's trying to see where his head at. I was just, I was trying to figure that out. Like, dang, okay, she lit.
Yeah. Yeah. Were you able to like think about that in that way, or what were your thoughts?
I was Dang, I just lost my train of thought again. I did like that part. I thought that the question part was funny, but I also just heard her like maintaining self-control. The hook was just about how tempting it is to like, you know, start a bond with someone, but she's like, no, you know what? I got work to do. Let me get back. Let me focus.
Yeah.
Get back to this, and then I'll check with y'all later. But while I'm here, let me quiz you real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's sweet. She's cold. I really like that song too.
Yeah, like so she was in the film 8 Mile. And she's considered like a legend here in Detroit. Like she's amazing. When we had our weekly Women in Hip Hop event, she actually performed at our event. Shouts out to DJ Los, who brought her and Boss. So I was like, woohoo. But yeah, she tore it up. I think there's some video footage of her there doing her thing. But she's like a great writer and a thinker. She's a mother. And you know, independent artist, entrepreneur. She's also a teacher, you know. And yeah, so it's interesting because like when people think of like Detroit MCs, or like if you were to say like a woman as an MC, I think a lot of people think of like a certain, like, what's the word I want to say?
Person.
Or like aesthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're like people think of a certain aesthetic. And I think that this is also a Detroit aesthetic, but there aren't like as many as what you would say like like people that are super visible. You know what I mean? Like kind of sharing in this way, like as a, you know, manifesting as like a rapper. You know what I mean? You'll see it, but people might like, I don't know, like own a juice bar or something. You know what I'm saying? Or they might like do something like completely different. But yeah, as a rapper, like I really appreciate her her kind of like, you know, staying true to herself, because like if you check her catalog, like this is who she's been like the whole time. Like she's not like, oh, you know what, let me do some woke stuff because like woke is kind of lit right now. Like, nah, she's been like this since the 90s. You know what I mean? St. Andrews, if y'all know about the history of St. Andrews and all that. But any hootie Rudy Tootie, I want to play another one. I want to play this one, Therapy. It's a little bit
I
different.
was gonna ask you to play that too.
Yeah, I'm gonna play Therapy. All right, so here's did I turn it up? Okay, yeah. All right, here's Therapy.
I'm gonna need some kind of therapy. I'm gonna need some kind of therapy.
I really think I'm gonna need. I think I'm gonna need therapy. Yes, I'm gonna need some therapy. I really think I'm gonna need. I'm really gonna need some therapy. Yes, I'm gonna need some therapy. Help me, therapy, therapy. Help me, therapy, therapy. Help me, therapy, therapy. Help me, I need therapy, therapy. Help me, therapy, therapy. Help me, therapy, therapy. Help me, therapy, therapy. Help me, therapy, therapy. Yeah. At times my mom be scaring me. Visions be tragic and graphic catastrophes, or thoughts of savagery, and that ain't me. I'm only human, consume the same movies and music you do. Modern day voodoo accessible through YouTube. And my life ain't been no walk in the park. At the same time, my life ain't been no swimming with sharks or stabbing knives in the dark. Heart racing, pacing, patient on the pavement. Pain is painted in my brain from things I seen, or was it just a nightmare? Yeah, I had a dream and it was beautiful, but somewhere in between the scene got brutal when one flew over the cuckoo, gave them pseudo pharmaceuticals to soothe you. Rudimentarily school a fooler to abuse you with black magic, crime target, white jacket, stock market, crash like symbols. Can it be that it was all so simple? Hijacking the low budget with no substance. We living in the days of revelations, and it really got me bugging. I think I'm gonna need. I'm really gonna need some therapy. Yes, I'm gonna need some therapy. I really need. I think I'm gonna need. I think I'm gonna need some therapy. Yes, I'm gonna need some therapy. Help me, therapy, therapy. Help me, therapy, therapy. Help me, therapy, therapy. Help me, I need therapy, therapy. Help me, therapy, therapy. Help me, therapy, therapy. Help me, therapy, therapy. Help me, therapy, therapy.
So I think for this one, I'm not sure. I have to like try to ask her, but I think she may have also done the production. And it's like for me, when I hear that song, it's like the song itself has like a certain like sound to it, like a certain like what's the word I'm trying to say? I want to say like cry for help or like um distraught or like despair in it. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like you can almost like hear her like trying to call out or almost like calling out for help or something. I don't know. That's what I hear. Like, what did you guys think in that song at all?
Yeah, same.
Like the same kind of thing in the production.
Mm-hmm.
It had like almost like a creepy sound, like like as if she was in an asylum or something.
It was haunting, yeah.
It had a haunting sound to it, right?
Mm-hmm. She's cool.
Yeah, and I think that song makes me think about like black trauma. Like, what does black trauma sound like? Like the sound of black trauma, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
In the production. And then like again, you know, she had so you'd have to listen to the song at least like 15 more times in order to like dissect like everything that she was saying in the song. But yeah.
That was my first thought. I gotta hear that again, you know. But I like her versatility. I'm just
Yeah.
listening. She's her,
Mm-hmm.
but her capability
Mm-hmm.
is like no way you could box that in.
It's
a wrap.
amazing.
Yeah.
She's incredible. So yeah, that's Njeri Earth. I wanted to share that with y'all because she is a Detroit MC. She's a Detroit woman MC. She's a pioneer. She's a legend. She has a new project and definitely wanted to put that out there and let y'all know to go and check her out. And we'll put it in the description of the show as well. So yeah, so okay, so let's dig one in. I had a couple of topics that I pulled up, but before, well, okay, so there's so much going on. Before we do any of that though, definitely wanted to just honor Regina King. You know, I hate to say that she lost her son. She gained an ancestor in her son, and yeah, that is pretty painful to be a mother and your child becomes an ancestor. So just want to send her some love, and yeah, just send her a lot of love. And what is her son's name?
Did you say Elijah
Ian.
or Ian?
Okay, so I wanna thank you. So I want to give much gratitude to Ian for your life and everything you brought here to the planet and the joy that you gave your mother, the pride that you gave your mother, the time that you spent with your mom, and just give you much gratitude for your life and all of your contributions. So, Ashe. Yeah, and just so much love to you, Regina King. Just so much love to you. It's like, oh, that's a lot. Just want to send you lots of healing love right now. Oh, and also along those lines, I want to give some love to our brother Yusuf Shakur. If you've seen the Detroit is Different podcast with him, it was an episode that was out, I think, a week or two ago. That was like a trending episode on the Detroit is Different podcast. And Yusuf just lost his mom last week. So I want to give Yusuf's mom just appreciation, gratitude for your life, for all that you brought to the planet, for all that you did while you were here, for raising Yusuf, who is a great warrior in our community. And thank you for your life. And just want to give much gratitude for all that you had gone through, a lot of struggles and a lot of triumphs. We watched some of your journey through your son that he would share on the Facebook page, and just so much gratitude to you. So and a lot of love to Yusuf, because I see you on social media and it's a bit difficult for you right now. So just want to send you some love as well. Appreciate you, Yusuf. So Ashe.
Usher.
Yeah. And so yeah, this is a an opening time, I mean, people are always coming and going, but definitely when you know people that are coming and going, it's a portal time, and a time for, things to be open and closed. So just want to give honor and gratitude to all the spirits that are going and coming at this moment. So thank you. So there were like so many stories that happened that I would love to talk about. Okay, so number one, did y'all watch the Janet Jackson thing?
I haven't. I just heard
You guys didn't watch it?
feedback. Nah.
It's okay. But so I'll just say briefly that I watched it with my cousin. But what's interesting, when I say watch, that could be deceiving because it would have you believe that I was actually like watching it myself. No. I was at home in the bed and she had it on her phone and I was listening and we were on Zoom. And I was just listening through the phone, like, while she played it, and then we were like talking about it so that we could like watch it like together. Anyway, I know that's crazy. But she claims to have dispelled the rumors that she had a mystery baby with James DeBarge. I don't know, y'all. I mean, I'm going to trust that Janet is telling the truth, but I am going to admit that I am a child of the 70s and the 80s, and I remember that time period. I'm just going to say that I'm going to honor whatever Janet says about her body and her life. That's the most respectful thing that I could do in this moment. That's all I got for you. Is that's evolved? I didn't go deep into that, huh? No, let's just put it right there. well, whatever. Okay, and she also talked about how she doesn't think that Michael Jackson was guilty of any of what he was accused of doing. We never know, do we? Like, I mean, I'm a Michael Jackson fan. Let me let y'all know that. number. I think I'm way up there. I told y'all I fainted at the concert when I was 15 or 16. Whenever I
What?
went to my first Michael Jackson concert, and what year was that? 87, 88. I don't know, whatever year that 86, whatever year that was. I love Michael Jackson, and he stays on heavy rotation.
Mhm.
At the same time, though, I'm unsure. I mean, let me just say, what do I think? I think, well, for sure we know that those two guys came forward and said that they lied on Oprah. That's a fact. Remember those two guys? They came out and said that they lied, but there were more than just. It was more than just like the those two guys that made those claims. Um,
You ever seen the Michael Jackson footage from like his like nieces and nephews and everybody's there?
I have seen. So Brittany asked if we seen the Michael Jackson footage of his nieces and nephews and everyone there. Is this the footage after his death? Is that what that, or is before
Like
his death?
footage where it's not just random kids. Like when he had the random kids there, it would be like his nieces and nephews would be there too. Like he wouldn't just have just random kids there.
I see what you're saying. So what Brittany is saying is that it wasn't that there were kids just by themselves there, that many of the other nieces and nephews, Michael Jackson's nieces and nephews, were there with those children at the same time. God rest his soul, Michael Jackson. It's so weird that he's not with us. You know, I hope that he didn't do any of those things. That's all I got. I hope he didn't do it. You know what I mean? Like we'll never know, will we?
No, we could look at that chart though. You know, he was a Virgo, but he had a lot of energy concentrated in Leo, and Leo is heavily associated with children. So not to say he did anything with them like inappropriate, but he did have a natural love, with for children, which a lot of people do, which is that's dope. Especially like if you find a teacher who like really wants to see children succeed or something, and they care about them above and beyond the average person. That whole type of mentality could be found in his chart. But his was more so like the fun because his childhood was stripped from him, obviously.
Yeah.
So that could have been like some time to fill in the blanks.
Yeah. Or
It's-
or wanting to see that other people got a chance, or just what do you call that? Stunted growth, stunted maturity, or stunted emotional, maturity. I mean, because he was sheltered, right? Because if you think about it, he'd been in the entertainment business like at Motown from a child, and then grew up literally in front of the world on TV
Mhm.
as TV became a bigger thing, because TV was like the internet. It wasn't like this big thing, and then it became this major thing. And so he grew up like in front of the world, and then he grew up having to be an entertainer for others, so having to have an image for others, and all of that, lack of privacy or whatever, and at the same time having the pressures of having to be this public persona. And so, while not being allowed to get any sort of time to do personal development, like that's something that, happens to a lot of public figures. It's no time for personal development. And so, your socialization is kind of, what I mean, socialized,
Mhm.
not like socially or whatever. You know what I mean? You're socialized like to you're taught to like perform, or to like be this person in front of others. It's very performative personality. And so um yeah, like there's also no like time that you're away from that. I mean, unless you're not popular, or you're not doing music or whatever, where you get a chance to just like withdraw from that, and then either go more internal or something. But he was such he's I think Beyonce has gotten to that level, but he was our first like megastar. I mean, so there was I guess for white folks they had Elvis, but he was for everyone. You
I
know
don't
what I'm
know if
saying?
Elvis was on that Michael Jackson level though.
For white folks, I mean, back in the 50s, he was.
Okay.
Yeah. But Michael Jackson, okay, usurped him, right? And he was for all,
Okay.
for everyone all over the world. It's like for everywhere you go, like all over the world, there's Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I think Beyonce is that now, right? There's a few Rihanna's kind of that now, maybe. You'd be surprised.
I'm a Rihanna. I like she be putting out bangers and all of that, but I don't know. She touching me, guys.
No, not touching Beyonce, but I just mean in the land of like, if you say Michael Jackson, like everyone knows who he is. It just also happens that everyone loves his music too.
Yeah, I don't think we'll never get another Michael. I haven't felt
No.
nothing like that. Nothing.
I mean, he was that amazing when he was a baby.
Yeah.
He was that amazing. Like that same amazing was there. Like that was the spark. He that was him. I think at this point, people try to cultivate that, but it's so contrived. His was like so. Remember, I played that. Oh no, I didn't play the Michael Child stuff. I played the Stevie Child stuff. There's some Michael Child stuff, and it's very similar. And he's now. Okay, I just thought about something. Now that Motown thing did grow kids up real fast, and so the kids were in worlds of adults, like going on tour and having to be mature and having to, because they're business people basically. They're just in the music business, but they're business people, so they have to act professionally and accordingly. So I think, yeah, like many of them were put in situation. That's why if you, I'm gonna switch right now and talk about a different kid, but that's why if you see in the Studio 54 pictures, you'll see like Brooke Shields was like a little girl, like in Studio 54, like smoking weed and drinking. Drew Barrymore was like, me and her are the same age. She was partying like in Studio 54, like as a child. You know what I'm saying? Now, you think about the Motown reviews, like Stevie Wonder was on those Motown reviews, Michael Jackson was on those Motown reviews. They were children, like touring with the rest of these adults.
Mm-hmm.
And tour life is like, ooh, especially like, I mean, whenever it is, but tour life is like debauchery. I mean, like it all goes down on tour. And
Is it
think of
like-
like the 50s and the 60s. Wow. And they were children, like on tour. I mean, in 2022 we'd say, "Oh, that's inappropriate." But in, I don't know, 60 whatever, that was like the cost of doing business with Motown. That's wild, yo. To like think about, you know what I mean? So I don't know. Well, okay, so we can move on from there. I had a few other oh, what was another one I wanted to tell y'all? So the Gucci store is coming to downtown. Do y'all know about that? Asa, what is that about?
Hey, I like Gucci, but at the end of the day, I want to see eventually these spaces occupied by my people. That's all. Yeah. They get money. They can stay on the internet.
It's gonna be on the corner of like Library Street, like right across from the YMCA. It's gonna be like right on the corner.
So what are they building right there on Woodward and what is that, Grand River?
Grand River is on the other side. You're talking about it at the Hudson site?
Mm-hmm.
That's Dan Gilbert's building. That's gonna be the tallest building in Detroit. It's gonna be like mixed use. It's gonna be mixed use, so it's gonna be like
it needs to be
high-rise condos and
we need
shopping.
more parking right there. Like the Z lot is not enough. We need more parking right there, especially if they're gonna continue to like make Woodward what it is and just that whole little area.
For me, you know what's interesting? I've read so many articles in the last, I don't know, like 15 years or whatever, that say that part of what's wrong is that these skyscrapers,
Mm-hmm.
and that skyscrapers are like dinosaur, like a thing of the past, and like that they they take up too much space, and that it's like an old concept, like a mall. And that's why you had like the Renaissance Center that was like sitting there forever. Like about 70% of the Renaissance Center is empty.
I know, yeah.
And now he's going to build like this next skyscraper that's supposed to be the tallest building in Detroit. Is going to be taller than the Renaissance Center. And what's interesting to me, I think about it, or I think about conceptually, like being like, I think of myself like if I were in those meetings and he was like, I'm going to build this big tall building. And I would have brought him like all that data to be like, globally, all the economists and everyone are saying that like skyscrapers are like, you should get away from that. And I would have, even though I'm not a Dan Gilbert person, I would have been like, oh, you want to spend your money? Like go long, like go up Woodward. Do you know what I mean?
That's a scarier idea.
Expand and like build up, or like invest up, right? Like if I were, the one with the bag, I mean, I'd be investing up, because if you go up, there's all these opportunities for like shopping. There's opportunities for, building, livable spaces. And, they talk about making Detroit more walkable. If you built up Woodward, that would make it way more walkable. Because, like, for the most part, you really can't walk down Woodward too much. There's a couple of places where you can walk, but for the most part, it's like there's really nothing for you to do there. And it's like supposed to be like a main artery of the city. I mean, if you go to Highland Park, they have the shopping center, right? But what do you have there? Like Foreman Mills and what? Like the grocery store?
Glory supermarket.
Yeah.
One, yeah.
And just like, and then, I don't know, is it Payless or something? But it's like, and then like the weave spot. But like if you go north of that, well, you do have the water station. You do have like, what is it called? Like Dolce Vita or something like that. That restaurant, that Italian restaurant that's over there. It's like all hidden little restaurant that's over there. Fancy schmancy.
And
I
they
went
glow,
there.
like some neon lights or something at nighttime.
No,
I'm
it's
tripping.
like hidden.
Beyond the water station, going
No, if you go more towards 6 Mile, on the same side of the street as the water station, more towards 6 Mile. I went to an Obama fundraiser there, and it was all these fancy schmancy people there. It was for his 2012 run. But I don't know. It's I think it's called Dolce Vita or something like that. I forgot the name of it.
Pillar and Pride too.
Where's that?
Yeah. 7 Mile and Woodward.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? I keep hearing about it.
The best store.
A little bit of
in
everything.
Detroit, yeah.
Okay, I'm ignorant.
Man.
Shout out Pillar and
I
Pride.
still had a solar.
Well, you gotta go on the mic.
Yeah.
I still had a solar power book signing, right? For
Yeah.
your book.
Yep.
Oh. I've heard Brittany talk about Pillar and Pride, but
You
I've
gotta
never
go
been there.
I love that store.
Okay, so
Black
Pillar and
owned,
Pride. Okay.
Family owned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, but is it the one next to the water station? Oh, that's not that place.
It's
No,
on
no,
the
no,
other
no.
side of that. What is it? A BP right there? It's
Yeah,
literally
on the
at
other side
7
of that
Mile and
BP.
Woodward.
Where that McDonald's used to be is behind there.
Close to the water station.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, what's on the other side? The strip club is on the other side. And then if you go down, what is that, a laundromat or a something? And then when you go down, it starts to get like abandoned and stuff. And then there's some churches.
Right across the street from each other.
You got Palmer Park, though. Palmer Park.
Well, that's going the other way, up,
true.
more north. Yeah, but I was talking about if you're going like down past 6 Mile, and then it gets scary because like it's really, not built up. Let's just say that. And it, you know, but I think if, I don't know, for me, I'm like, you're going to spend the money on this high rise, right? You still have to convince people to come live in it, or to come put some retail and some shopping in there. And truth be told, they haven't built up enough. Like if I had coin, and I, first of all, if I had real coin like that, I wouldn't be living in no high rise. I'd be,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Let's just keep it a buck. But for a I'm trying to think, okay, the mentality of a person that's got coin, but they make a choice that they want to live in a high rise. In 2022, when you have so many choices, you could live so much better than living in some high rise. It's like,
That's
think
like
about
a
it.
young rich person thing.
But even
Just to say that
you have
they've
to
done
wait for
it.
the elevator every day.
Yeah.
You know how annoying that is? Waiting for an elevator every day. Look at Brittany, the elevator fix-it lady, is like, girl, don't you talk about no elevator.
No, you're not wrong. Especially if it goes down too.
I'm thinking like if you lived above floor, okay, what's the highest floor you'd walk to if you lived there? Now, me, I've lived on the 6th floor,
Yeah, I was gonna say no.
and
more
I've
than the
walked up
6th
and down,
floor.
up and down. I don't mind that. But I'm trying to think living, let's say like I live on the 18th floor. Let's say I live on the 52nd floor. Let's say I live on like the 145th floor. How many floors is it?
God forbid you're injured.
How many
Man.
floors is the Renaissance? 100 and something?
I think 120.
Okay, so if this building's gonna be taller, it's gotta be like 121 or
That's
or
I gotta read on
150.
that. They were saying that, I think at some of the drawings, because we bid on those elevators. I think on some of the drawings they were
Wait, go
saying,
more into the mic.
they were saying that it was kind of impossible to actually make it taller than the Renton, but I think, I don't know where the debate ended. I think it's still debatable if it's going to end up taller than the Renton, but it was for sure his goal. He was in meetings like Roman emperor
Mhm.
style. I want the tallest building in the city. Yeah.
And I'm thinking about it like, if I had coin, I would not be wanting to wait for no elevator every day. I'm tired. I'm there doing
That
stuff.
doesn't mean that they wouldn't buy it to make it an Airbnb or even rent it out to someone else.
They do that in Toronto a lot. The high rises.
Yeah,
It's like all
like
in the high rises in Toronto.
it'll be an
Or
investment property for rich
Airbnb
people.
for sure. Yeah.
So
And then because it's new, hell yeah, it'll be Airbnbs up in there. Just
I
off the
guess.
strength of the newness and the
I
excitement
guess.
around it.
Because I'm thinking about it like, why would I
They
want to
wouldn't
take
be
some
waiting on no
elevator?
elevator.
I mean,
Unless
look
they
at all the
wanted to
rich.
stay downtown, like say they went to like, I don't know, a Tigers game or even, I don't know, something at like Little Caesars or something. They just didn't feel like going back to whatever suburb their main house is in.
Yeah,
Just
that
go to
there's
their
a
apartment.
there's a building like that. That's on where a guy bought the building, renovated it. Doesn't have a tenant, but he has like a loft. So him and his wife come in town and they'll check on the building or go to a game, and then they'll just stay the night in their loft.
Mhm.
So there are a lot of people living doing funky things. But Detroit has $1.2 million listings in Corktown too.
I know.
This is crazy.
They have the $1 million listings in what is it, Brush Park. But it's still not safe.
No.
You gonna pay $1 million and live over there? Oh heck, you know.
Like you're saying, there's so many different ways to live right now in 2022.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I'm not trying to laugh at people, but I'm like, you're gonna pay one. First of all, let's talk about how janky, not janky, but just cheap the construction is of these places. It's the same. It's the same building. Like I can't tell the difference between that and the project apartments that's over the Diggs homes.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I'm serious, right? Like it's pretty much the same. Only thing is they gave them some plants and a fake front yard, but everything's the same. Like it looks the same, everything's the same. And I'm like, wow, that stuff is like still that cheap stuff where you could hear through the wall. It's not even like made well. Everything is just like Super Home Depot. No sneak this to Home Depot, but it's like if I'm making a Dina says if I have to carry bags of groceries or a child beyond the third floor, I don't want it. Right. And it's like you pay okay, let's say I'm a millionaire. Let's say we're millionaires. I'm not living in a high rise. Yeah. It's like I want some land, I want some grass, some greenery. I want to grow my food. And shouts out to Dina. Shouts out to you, Dina. Yeah. I don't know, that's crazy, right?
Yeah, I was thinking too about what you mentioned about Pluto.
Mm-hmm.
You know, coming back around. And I was thinking that people like Dan or whoever, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to having big money, that doesn't equate to having a high frequency mentality or being in tune. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So someone like him would be the perfect example of someone that's basically still building and trying to construct based off of the old paradigm that's obviously, getting put to shame and crumbling, right before our eyes. So you're just for lack of better words, I don't want to put you in a box and say you're just a futurist or anything, but you are so in tune that you can see into the future and what's necessary and what's best for the people. Other people like that, they are literally building off of those old ways of thinking. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I see it, based on what you said so far. You just in a different league.
He that's funny. But thank you, my brother. But yeah, I'm just thinking like a skyscraper just doesn't seem useful in 2022. I mean, well, not in Detroit. Now, we do have people that watch from all over the world. Now, New York is different because New York, they can only build up. And we're talking Manhattan too, because in other boroughs and other parts of New York City, people are building, this way. But Detroit has so much land and fertile land and open land and vacant land. A skyscraper it seems like a useless idea to like put all of that energy in like this like tiny geographical like narrow space and then go up and like there still isn't around the area, right? Around the area there still isn't really any support for there to be even a reason for someone to even want to live in that skyscraper, if that makes sense. Because there isn't like a viable like ecosystem around there. Now, I think what their mentality is they're thinking, well, we're going to build the skyscraper and then we'll fill it up, and those people will create the ecosystem that's going to be the neighborhood. But really, Detroit is such a place that people just get in their car and it's a destination place. So people get in their car and they go wherever, right? So I can imagine whoever's going to move in a skyscraper, I doubt they're going to do much walking, because as soon as they come downstairs, and let's say you live there, let's say you have like, I don't know, 5-10 stores inside your building. Once you hit those 5 to 10 stores like once or twice, you're gonna be trying to see what else is around there. You know what I'm saying? And as soon as you step your butt like right around there, you might be able to go to a couple of places, but there's not too much, you know what I'm saying, like around there to do.
Yeah.
They just haven't built up that they, as much as people talk about that Dan Gilbert's done all this whatever, it still isn't built up or like interesting to like want to, for me, like to want to live there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I go to the
Agreed.
Y, and that's the most interesting thing that's downtown to me, besides my co-working space at Bamboo. But so I don't know. Okay. There were so many like stories. So I know I don't know if y'all checked any of this. I'm just gonna run these stories down. So there's this tech company that moved from Cali to Detroit, and they're gonna specialize in building security robots. I need us to talk about this, not tonight, but I need y'all to research this and talk about this, because if anybody's listening, I want y'all to look up something called Big Dog. There's Big Dog and there's Little Dog, and there. I don't know if folks know do y'all know what DARPA is? is the Department of Defense, and basically they make all these like intelligent weapons, and they had Big Dog and Little Dog back in like 2007, but they're basically like these kind of robots that can go in all terrain, that have articulated limbs, and they can go on, like they can feel, they can run, they can like seek, detect. And now I mean, come on, that's 2007, is a long time ago now. They've perfected it. And what I saw when I looked up this article is that this particular security company has some of those security robots. So I want us to all research that, because that
Okay.
scared the bejesus out of me. Because look up these robots. This is pretty scary stuff. Let's see what's another one. A woman named Nicole Colber. So she's the managing partner of the CIR group, and she brought together 50 Black women-owned businesses representing $200 million in revenue to form the Bow Collective, which is they describe it as a groundbreaking organization of Black women business owners who partner together and compete for large-scale contracts in both the public and private sectors. That's something that Brittany's always talking about. Partnering up and like doing business together, or like, what do you call that? Like syncing up like transformers and going and doing business together. I don't know. Did y'all see this article?
I only saw it from the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
I checked it out yesterday.
Yeah. I don't know. Y'all have thoughts, or y'all need to dig into it a little more?
Yeah, I'd like to research that some more too.
Yeah. What about you?
I just thought it was inspiring from what I read,
Yeah.
nice prototype like event right now to, spearhead a lot of stuff for like the youth,
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, because like they get a chance to learn. That's something too that a lot of it's changing. It's slowly changing, but I think historically, Black people and Black women have not had the opportunity to think of how to collaborate to go after contracts. And that's why we see in business a lot of times you see a lot of cutthroatness, and that is the nature of capitalism, and that's the nature of like the beast, and it's just replicated, right? Like in the Black community, if you will. But it had been that way, because that's the way folks felt, that there was a necessity to be that way. But clearly, she's figured out a way so that everyone can benefit, everyone can eat, while we be strategic in going after these huge contracts that are going to have a lot of money and benefit like a lot of people. Like, how do we negotiate and like work our stuff out so that we can do business together? But I want to throw that to y'all, because when I went to Brazil, and I stayed in Brazil with a Black indigenous community that lived in the Amazon, lived off the land, and they were fighting against their government, who is trying to put missiles in the middle of the Amazon. Why you would want to put a missile or missile base in the middle of the Amazon sounds psychotic to me, because that's one of the seats of creation. It's one of the seats of much of our world's like resources that are really important to us. However, they've been fighting against this, and so long story short, I got a chance to sit in on some of their meetings, and they have they're tribal people, but they've organized themselves, and they organized themselves like over time. So it's been at least like 20 years or 20 something years that they have been coming together, learning about each other. And they're not just like one people. So I don't want to make it sound like they're like a monolith. Like they are multiple tribes, but they're Black indigenous tribes that are from Brazil. And if you know anything about Brazil, it was a struggle because the Black folks there fought against the Portuguese in like the 1700s. And although they do speak Portuguese there, they have a lot of their what we would describe as African um like cultural traits, right? So they have a lot of the rhythms, the drum, a lot of the spices, the food, the dances, a lot of the, cultural aspects, some of the Yoruba, the natural practices and things like that. But any hootie rooty tootie. Got a chance to stay with, uh one of the tribes and got a chance to meet some of the other tribes. And I asked them, because I was like, in the States, we don't really have like, they say we have movements here, but we don't really have movements here. Not like, let me tell you something. When I was in Brazil and Chile and South America and all that, these folks, when I'm telling you they fought against their government, their militarized police government in tanks with all types of, technological weaponry and surveillance, like all this stuff. These folks are just in the bush with like their herbs. They walk barefoot. You know what I'm saying? Like they make their houses their self, they make their clothing, like completely live off the nature. And they are winning. They are winning their fight against their tyrannous government. And if you know anything about like Bolsonaro and all that right wing, takeover in Brazil, they kind of had, a Trump situation. But and these folks that rule the world, man, they're trying to kill everybody with their wars and their crazy GMO food and control of everything. But what's interesting is what I learned from them is how they were able to organize themselves. And so, you're talking like self-governance, you're talking about self-determination, you're talking about people who are of a different culture. Like they're the same in a land of like they're Brazilian, they're Black, they some might identify as native, some might identify as Black, more Afro, some might identify they have different types of tribes because in Brazil they've got like is it 106 different ethnic groups?
Mm.
And so like somebody looks like me and somebody looks like Asa, like we'd be a different ethnic group from one another. Or like somebody looks like me, somebody looks like you, Deja, we'd be a different ethnic group from one another. Or like me and, Brittany, we'd be a different ethnic group, or you and Brittany be a different ethnic group, or you and Asa be a different ethnic group, or Kari. And what's interesting about that is here in the States, we're all Black. Mm-hmm. Like we might do the whole light skin, dark skin thing, good hair, bad hair, but we consider ourselves the same culture. We might just like not identify if someone's, if we think they're ghetto or bougie or whatever, but they're, think about it, they have a like almost like I think it's 106 classifications based on different migrations and cultural things, but I'm saying that to say that here how we say, oh, we can't get along, we can't, if people are in the Christian church, you know what I mean, they're not going to organize with people that are not in the church, right? That are in the street, or, if they're in the mosque, or if they're in business, or if they're in technology, or if they're in government, or if they're in education, so for us here, we find all these ways for us to like not have things in common for us to work together, which is interesting because we all kind of like, in a sense, we all kind of like identify as like the same people, more or less. Mm-hmm. Whereas like there, it's like, they identify positively as their class in a way. So it's like, yeah, we're poor, so we need to stick together because, you know, we need to protect our land. You know, we need to protect our territories. We can't allow, you know, the government to come in and do this to like our land and our territories. And they are fighting like with like machete and like herbs and like magic. I mean, that sounds crazy, but they are winning. It's like, wow. And
Isn't that how Haiti won?
the same way Haiti won. The same way Haiti won, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's interesting because right now, you know, if you think about it, like many of us can't live without like the society like the way it is, and can't even imagine like many of us don't like we think about like if you own a house, right? You think about like your house, like your land, but you don't really think about like your neighbor's land or like this way, that way, that way, that way, right? Like to protect all of that together, right? People kind of think about it like my house and my thing, I got me and mine. But they have been working, like I said, over like 20 something years to come together to have these conversations about how are we going to come together to protect our land, to protect our water, to protect our, you know, way of life, to protect our culture. And they have businesses together. They they make decisions together. They have something there's like a cola nut, and then this cola nut is in a lot of beauty products. And there's a company called L'Oreal. There's a huge you know, beauty company, and L'Oreal does business with this tribe for their cola nut, and they have representatives, you know, that they go and they have principles and things, and the representatives, you know, fight for them and, you know, on their behalf. And but they actually like tell them, you know, like what to do, what to say. So they're able to like take that revenue and like maintain, you know, the financial piece in a way, but like and make those decisions together. And I think about like um that's their survival. You know what I mean? Like that's how they're surviving. And I think about like here in the States, um my friend, she came from Salvador, and I took her around and I showed her Detroit, and I was showing her like different places, and I was like telling her what's the hood and this and that, and she was like, "That's the hood?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "But they have a house. They have a brick house." I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "They don't see what they have. They have a huge brick house and they have land." And I was just like, "Yeah, like they don't see that." You know, and she just couldn't she didn't believe me. She didn't believe that she was in the hood. And when I'm telling you the hood, I took her over there by the murder map. And she was like uh shocked.
Yeah, no, those are big houses.
She was shocked because she was like, she couldn't believe that that was the hood. And it made me think like,
Yeah, when I went through that neighborhood, I was like, for the first time, rather, I was like, what? It's very beautiful over there. Very well architected homes. Like,
brick,
yeah, very nice.
but it's
Still
the
to this
hood.
day, I know.
Like,
Tragic.
not even like the hood, like you trying to be hood. No, it's actually the hood. But what was interesting is she was like, you know, shocked that people, she was like, they have all of this. And I was just like, yeah, they don't think of it as that they have, right? Number one, they don't think of it as they have as an owner. And the second part is they don't think that they have all of this. They don't think that that it's all of this. They think of it like that it's trashy or that it's terrible or that it's disgusting. They can't see the beauty of it. They can't see the beautiful grass. They can't see the beautiful brick home because there's so much memories of trauma from Boo got murdered on this corner, or this happened, or that happened, or if you accidentally point, alert, swivel. You know what I'm saying? If I'm walking around here or driving, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. But anyway, we could go all down. That'll be another day for more topics. And then just a couple more. Oh, this the guy from Shark Tank, Kevin O'Leary, he invested $100,000 in a women's apparel business after he called her a crazy chicken and made her cry. Did y'all see that?
No.
Only on the spreadsheet.
So only 100,000. That's all it's worth to call me a chicken to make me cry. I need more. No, yeah, I mean, so on the one part, they got to sell advertising on that show. So they got to do like drama, controversy. On another side, that is a capitalist world where people talk to each other crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that business world, that's how they talk to each other. They just talk crazy to each other. But then on the flip, I'm thinking like, good for her that she's able to get investment in her business. But then my brain goes to,
how much does he own?
You know me. You know what I'm thinking. Like, how much does he own of the business?
That's how they all think. They have to have ownership, like real ownership. I'm thinking for 100,000, he probably has a good 40% at least, maybe 60, between 40 and 60, somewhere in there. If I had to guess, I don't know.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
We need
That's
to look
pretty
that up.
cheap.
Let's look that up. Okay. Ava, another story. Ava DuVernay and Venus Williams and a bunch of other people are honored by the Smithsonian's Natural Portrait Gallery. So if y'all don't know about the National Portrait Gallery, it's a very, very prestigious photography gallery that's in the Smithsonian. And the Smithsonian is one of the like crown jewels of culture. There's so much, like the Dilla is exhibit is there. There's, I mean, so many artifacts, historical books, just so much is there. So the portrait gallery is this photography gallery where they have like, world renowned portrait photographers take pictures of really prominent people who have made a significant contribution or shifted culture in some type of way. So that's pretty significant in the photography world, in the art world, in the world in general. So just wanted to bring that to y'all.
Congrats to them, though. That's huge.
Yeah, congrats to them. That's really huge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As women.
So if you go through the National Portrait Gallery, you'll see the evolution. So you'll see them, and I don't know. We should take a trip to go there, like all of us, right? We could see all that. We could see like the Dilla exhibit and see these. We should let's figure out when to go.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, we could do a show there or something at the Portrait Gallery. That'd be dope.
Piper Carter vlog.
I think all of y'all would really enjoy it. Because it's like the Smithsonian is like, wow.
Yeah.
It had like when you just think about the collection, because it's a collection of culture. You know what I mean? Yeah, let's think about that. Okay, so just two more and then we a couple more and we get out of here. Okay. Breaking news. Excessive TV time is linked to heart risk in Black folks. Mic drop. Who didn't know that?
Right.
I was like, is this news?
Especially if they're watching the news, probably, or
Mm.
anything stressful to. I know my loved ones love the news, unfortunately, and I wish that they didn't, but they feel the need to stay informed, and I'm like, no, not that way. I don't know, but I don't know, just knowing how other families work and then like, extended relatives, it's all gotta know what's going on.
I find that the news scares the bejesus out of me.
It definitely does. I don't
documentaries and things. And a lot of what the women were saying was like, I was so scared that I was like frozen, but I remember this or I remember that. Do you know what I mean? Like they had memory of certain things to the point where um but they didn't feel that they had control. You know what I mean? So they were kind of like observing like he did this, he did that, but they didn't feel as though they could control anything.
Have you seen the Bill Cosby documentary on Showtime?
Not yet. Have you seen it?
I started it. It's kind of going into what you're talking about now. They go into like that with.
Was his name Bakari?
I think so. He's a comedian.
He's Bakari, right? That's his name. Yeah, I only saw snippets and pieces of it, but I want to. Okay, let's watch that one and talk about that one. And let's find out what's going on with this Chris Brown thing. Let's follow that because he's being sued. So there's going to be a case. So we'll get a chance to see maybe a trial. And then the very last thing that I wanted to say, did y'all see the Tasha K Cardi B? No.
Who's the first lady?
Tasha K.
Is that the one who was dragging her about something?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Tasha K is a YouTube blogger. That's how she's being described. But she's big on YouTube. And she said disparaging things about Cardi B. And Cardi B had, some 4 years ago or whatever, asked her, DM'd her, take that stuff down, please. It's not true. And Tasha K refused about 3 or 4 different attempts that Cardi B made personally to her, as well as her attorney sending the cease and desist letters, and Tasha K refused. And then Cardi B, sued her. So she just sued her for about $4 million. And it seems as though it may not be over. So Tasha K made a statement like a couple of days ago on her channel, like basically like refuting everything and saying that she thinks that, the verdict was incorrect and this kind of thing. So I don't know if she can appeal. She lost and she has to pay Cardi B like $4 million.
Whew.
And
Cardi don't even need it. That's the crazy part. She could have avoided that.
Well, yeah, I mean, she could have avoided it because when Cardi B sent her the cease and desist letter, she could have took down the videos. When she sent her the DMs, she could have took down the videos. But and the I'm gonna tell you what's the more crazy part. I'm not gonna say I could see, but I'll say I could see if the stuff that she was saying was true. Then I could see where she could kind of be like, no, I'm not taking nothing down. But she admitted in court that the stuff she was saying was lies, and she was only saying it to get paid off of it, to make money.
Wow.
Which is crazy to me. Like, so she was like, I was monetizing those videos. And it's like, she's so steadfast in being convicted, like that. Yeah, like I was monetizing those videos. It's like, but they're not true. And Cardi B claims that she became suicidal and paranoid and fearful and all these other things, and it caused her so much emotional distress. And
that's that move right there.
Yeah. But also too, I mean, if you're a public figure, like that can be distressing.
Definitely detrimental too.
For some, I mean, even if you're not a public figure, if you're just on social media and somebody says something crazy about you, you know what I mean? It will have you be like, what? It will, like, it'll just send you into all types of frenzy. Like, that's not true.
In reality, it doesn't even have to be on social media.
Even in reality, if someone say something that's not true and you're like, it's not true. And she said that Cardi B had this transmittable disease that's incurable, and she basically said that, that Cardi B said she caused her so much distress that she was afraid to kiss her own children. And she went to go get a test to
Check.
see to prove that she didn't have it. And it's like, that's pretty far. You know what I mean? Like, these lies are going that far and she couldn't take it down. I'm just thinking, like, for me, I'm thinking, like, what is going through a person's brain to be like, let's tell lies and monetize them? I'm sure, I mean, it happens all the time, right?
Desperate.
But for someone to, like, make a decision and to be so convicted and be in court and be like, that's what I was doing. That is the part that's like, whoa, to me. But, hey.
It's the world we live in. That's the mentality that has been produced, the domino effect from all that nonsense. I'm not even surprised.
I shouldn't be
I feel you.
surprised, but yeah, I shouldn't be surprised. I'm like, I am though. But you're right. Oh my God. Okay, so those were all the stories I had so far. I appreciate y'all like being here. And spending time and all of that. So I guess we'll be back next week, but just want to remind people that we do have the website pipercarterpodcast.com. We also have Instagram and Facebook, Piper Carter Podcast. We're on the Detroit is Different podcast network. So go to DetroitIsDifferent.net to listen to all the other shows, DetroitIsDifferent.com to read the blog, and Detroit is Different on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook as well. And you know what? Go to the Detroit is Different website because you can still get an NFT to be a part of the Detroit is Different podcast network family and support what we're doing. Oh, and Piper Carter Podcast, we also have a Patreon. So we will be doing some exclusive content on the Patreon in the near future. But for now, you can just go there and give a little $5 and say that you want to support the show. Yeah. So with that, I want to give you all an opportunity to say anything to the audience, some last words or whatever. Did you want to leave us with anything? Anybody?
Me? Oh,
Mhm.
just put your best foot forward to focus. That's what I'm gonna do.
What about you, Asa?
I'm about to capitalize off of those energies you spoke about earlier. I'm just about to turn up in February, man.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. And hopefully Brittany will be back soon on the mic and the camera. And yeah, we'll see. Praying about that. So we'll just want to give lots of gratitude to all of y'all, Asa, Brittany, Deja, Kari. Kari, sometimes he's here, sometimes he's not. And to all the listeners and supporters, and we super appreciate you. And if there's stories that you want us to talk about, send them so that we could get a chance to like research them. And again, just like, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful week. Peace.
Peace.